Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. This is your girl, Miss J, Talks with J podcast. And we're back with another episode. Today we're going to talk about whether women get married for the right reasons. Who is the wedding really for? Do you have a healthy example of marriage? Does the ring really matter? During this episode, we're going to try to answer those questions. So let's jump right into it. Does having a good example of marriage matter? I'd say having a good example of marriage matters. You can't look forward to something you haven't seen before. At least if you have an example, you have something to go off of, and you know what to expect. Some people never have an example of marriage and go into marriage unless they go along, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are fortunate to see that their parents stayed married for 30, 40 plus years, so they know what a good marriage looks like. And then you have others that grew up with single parents, so you don't exactly know what an example of marriage is, but I'm pretty sure you know somebody who's been married and you've been able to watch and see what they've been doing and going through. I think it's just easier when you can visually and physically see something versus just having to just dive in head first and just hope for the best. I would say I think the marriages that have had a good example of what a marriage looks like and what to expect, those people head into marriage kind of headed again versus somebody who didn't have an example of marriage. So I think having that example makes a big difference versus not having an example of marriage. Who's the wedding really for? Now, I know a lot of people probably gonna have a lot of women are gonna have a lot to say with this one. Who is the wedding really for? Like, let's be honest. The wedding is basically for y'all to say y'all vows in front of everybody and exchange your rings. The wedding is solely for the woman. This is why most women want the big ass wedding. This gives the woman a chance to find how she's getting married. Weddings are a reason to show out because this man chose you to be his wife and no one else. The man's only moment during the wedding is when he walks out for the first time and when he walks back down the aisle with his new bride. That's it. I understand women want to create memories, but it's mainly for presentation and appeal in pictures and videos. Most women say, oh, I want everlasting memories. No, you want a great presentation. You want something that people are going to talk about. That's basically what it is. You want a conversation starter. Let's just be honest. Women go to one of their friends' weddings and then decide in their minds they want to outdo them. Yes, you have those women that'll go to their friends' weddings and be like, oh girl, her wedding wasn't nothing. Wait until I get married. My wedding's going to be 10 times better than what she did. Hey, it is what it is. You're entitled to your opinion. But I don't understand the whole being a competition with your friends. You should just be happy that both of y'all get married. It's crazy logic, but women do it. Women care more about the presentation and the visual of the wedding than I think they care about the actual ceremony and vows and commitment part of in front of everybody. Being there with your family and friends. I think women just bypass all of that and just jump straight to, oh, I got the best dress on, and it turned out amazing. The wedding turned out amazing, exactly how I wanted it to. So, poof, I did that. And, I mean, it is what it is. Women, you're entitled to your own opinion. Now, does the ring really matter? Now, I know this is definitely going to spark some people to have a lot to say about. And when I'm saying, does the ring really matter? I mean, does it have to be the most expensive? Women are so prone to be caught up in wanting a certain type and style of ring to the point that the man is still paying for the ring even after the wedding. Of course, you want a nice but nice wedding ring, but you don't. It doesn't mean that man has to go into debt getting it. It's supposed to be about the commitment before God. Yes, I understand women want expensive wedding rings. Everybody can hope. There are very few men that can outright buy an expensive wedding ring. Yes, I understand you have to wear the ring every day for the rest of your life. But maybe you'll be content with getting a nice ring and then eventually he upgrades that ring when he's in a bad financial situation. Like, I don't agree with women having such high demands of a man wanting like this extravagant wedding band to the point that this man's in debt after the wedding, paying for the ring, and then y'all are going on honeymoon eventually too. So, do you think he's actually going to enjoy your honeymoon knowing that he's in debt? All because he wanted to make sure that he got you the perfect ring? I don't think women take that into consideration. Sometimes you get a halfway decent ring in the beginning, and then you're okay for a time period, and then he upgrades it when he's in a better situation. But most average women ain't trying to hear that, and that's where the problems come in. I think women want a lot of things that they know that their man can't afford, especially with these extravagant wedding rings. You see what Kim Kardashian has for her wedding ring, and you're like, oh, well, let me go show my man the most expensive ring that I find. No, find a ring that's reasonably priced and consider that man's financial situation also. You know, women be so gung-ho for the wedding and me, that it's just like, oh, he gonna make it happen. But you don't consider all that he's done and all he's been through to make it happen. I think that's crazy. That's why I say weddings in general are just one-sided. It's basically a shit fest for women. A shit fest, a stunt fest, whatever you want to call it for women. All a man cares about is eventually having a woman take on his last name and exchanging out vows. He don't care about the decorations and the rest of that stuff that goes along with into the marriage and the wedding. Women care about that, the finer details and stuff like that. I'm not against a woman having her dream wedding. I'm just saying, do it, but don't make it seem like you're better than everybody else, you know? You don't have to shit on others who aren't getting married to make yourself feel even better about you getting married. And a lot of women would do that, and I don't understand it. So basically, in conclusion of this episode, we talked about marriage. We talked about the point of the wedding, the example of marriage and whether the ring matters. I figured I'd give my opinion on these topics since I see people having so much to say on them. So thank you for tuning in into another episode of Talks with Jay podcast, and be on the lookout for the next episode. Subscribe or tell a friend about me. Until next time.